All right, you ready for another video on this? It seems like that's all we've been doing because that's all that the parts show up for, but I did get some more stuff today for other things, so hopefully we can move on to different things. But today, you're gonna get one of these, so we'll get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, Rusty Oliver Man, the white 700 utility special. And we were working on this wiring mess, and I think we got it almost sorted out. The only thing that was holding us back from putting the dash back together is the fact of we were waiting on a what do you want to call it, a power outlet, because that empty hole is supposed to have a power outlet in it. Actually, yes, that's the way it was supposed to be. And so, struggling, friends. I looked around, and I'm struggling to just find you a place here, but I looked around because it's technically supposed to go in this hole here, but that is awfully small, and there is just not, I mean, that one over there is in there, but we don't know that that's what size the actual hole is. It might be larger diameter. So what I came up with, I measured them both with the caliper. I think this one measures like 18 millimeter, and then this top one, where we have this wedged in, is 22 millimeter. But the beauty of this is, this one is too small for the hole. So we're going to take a little bit of liberty here, and we're going to switch it and put it in the one that's smaller. And then that gives us a 22 millimeter hole to deal with the power outlet. And actually today it would be kind of a nice day if it wasn't windy, but looks like it's going to be windy, so. Oh yeah, okay, there is I was going to say, I thought there was a nut on the backside too. So I'm going to thread this out a little bit. Thread the inside one in a little bit. Try to make it look a little more snazzy, see? Now, it would be super handy to have like the red pliers, but I don't know what I did with them. So, let me go to the truck here, which is behind us, and see if they're in there. Alright, well, today, the red pliers are not showing up again. They're around here somewhere, we'll find them. They only come out when you really super need them. Then they show up. Let's get this to fit that. All right, that is there. Now, what did I find for the other thing? Well, I knew I was limited to 22 millimeter, so I did some searching, and I found this. It's a power outlet for USB. It's not at all what it would have had, but I feel like this might actually be useful, you know? And if it fits in the hole, so be it. Let's hope that it fits in the hole. It's supposed to be what this measured. If it doesn't fit in the hole, I'm gonna cry. Look at that. It's almost like something finally went our way. I hear a bovine mooing in the distance. Come on. Now the question is that Oh my goodness. See, the thing is, this is mostly plastic, so I don't want to break it, but I think that's going to work. Right like that. Now, this leaves us with two more perplexing problems. Not too much, though. We got to hook up the hot wire down to the fuse box, which was this wire, and then I pulled it out because dummy, you know. I thought that it would be, I didn't want this hot wire dangling because it arced out one time. It got against something. So we can put that back in. I don't know that there's enough to reach all the way down where it needs to go. Plus, I would rather, don't get off of there. That's important. That's the start wire. I would rather have the original color anyway, so that might work out. But then technically we need to get it to a ground, and I don't know what we're going to do about that situation. And then the other thing is, I got to thinking, the instrument panel here, I think, was missing some screws. And so eventually we're going to have to get some more little clippies to fit some screws like what we got, so that we could make it super nice. But that probably won't be today's affair. But I'm wondering what I'm going to do with the ground, you know. I could run it down somewhere and self-tapper it. The problem is I'm just not seeing anything that's just bolted. Oh no, there's some grounds over there. There's a bolt and some wires coming off of it. That would be grounds. So maybe we can go over to that and make that happen. Let's go to the other side and see if we can see something that's important, you know? Yeah, see that bolt that's got all those ground wires going to it? We're just going to add one. Hopefully that will come out and go back in nicely. So we need to add an end of wire onto there. And then we need to put a spade on that so we can plug it into that other thing and then put it back where it needs to go. So let me go grab some stuff and I'll bring you right back. All right, one thing I don't understand. I could buy 100 rolls of electrical tape, and the next time I want to use it, I wouldn't be able to find a single one. I'm always opening a new one because the old ones are never around. And again, this is not the weather for electrical tape. It doesn't really play nice in the cold weather. But that's okay. I don't really play nice in the cold weather either. And basically, this doesn't really have to do anything. This is just added pull apart protection more than anything, you know. Let's tape this together, even though it's kind of unnecessary. See, that's pretty loose, so we better. A little bit of donkey talk in the background. That's fine. Alright, now we gotta look up in the book again to remember which pin that blue wire goes on. I should have left it hooked up because I knew I was probably going to do this, but at the time I thought, well, if I get back to it and I don't. Okay, it would be A, B. Yeah, because we got an N, which is a black, and then a C, which is an orange, and then this AB goes in the same one as the C. AB is their code for light blue and white. So it goes on the same, which you're not going to be able to see that. I can see it, kind of. I think I put them in order last time so that it was easy to see that it's just that one straight down in there with the shiny pin. Man, this is not going well already. And I know why too, because when I did it before, I didn't have that switch sitting in there on top of right where I need to be going. What do you have here that could help you? Obviously not that. Come on. There. I think I got it. I think he got it. Looks right anyway. Ooh, we've pulled off a lot of stuff back here. Did that come off of there too? Oh, dang it. That's why I want this done and sealed up, because I don't want to keep pulling wires loose. And every time you have this open, it just keeps doing that. Let's see, we're going to need this possibly over there. Also, is there a ratchet? Yes. Cab floor is getting pretty messy, but alright. Hang your head and cry, Tom Dooley. But what I'm going to do is, and this is a ground wire, so we're going to just see about getting that bolt loose. We'll put an end on this real quick. This isn't exactly like the end I'm going to put on it is going to be way more than, all I got is these yellow ones, is what I'm saying, that have that size hole, and that's way more than what this would need, but I need the larger hole. So the question's going to be, how hard is it going to be to get that out of there? And when's the last time that actually was out of there? You know, that's what I feel like the struggle is going to be. Also, I hope that's a threaded hole, and I hope it's not is that too big? Can't tell. Yeah. I hope that that's not like got something on the back side of it or something strange about it, like it was a self-tapper and now it'll never ever go again. You know, that would be really sad. Maybe, why don't we do this one? Let's see if we can get that one loose. He says as he can't get the thing on there. We'll put this one on there, and that way we don't disturb any original grounds, and that way in theory everything should stay working. And if this thing we put in doesn't work, oh well, because I will probably never use it. I can't say never. I do use the outlet on the 9650 to charge my phone, but basically I don't have any reason. I'm not going to be in this tractor for hours and hours, probably, hopefully. This is where I'll give you a little more view so you can see the beauty of this ratchet. See how nice that is? All you got to do is just turn the handle. Now we'll get that put back on there. Kind of would be nice to clean that a little bit. Look how pretty that silver paint is underneath the little bit of dirt. Oh, yeah. Let's flip the ratchet back. You can go either way with the handle. That's the nice part. You don't have to go. You can do whatever you got to do and it'll still turn the way you have it set. Guys, I think we might be ready to close this up until the next failure occurs. Let's just gently. Oh, look at that. It's not working very good for me, but get that one started so it helps hold it. Well, now we're not playing nice. Why aren't we playing nice? Let's loosen that again. There. We don't want to pull any wires loose of anything while we're doing this task that we're doing. Man, this is not... I don't even remember what was in, like what was in the bottom one. Maybe there wasn't one on this side. Well, no, it was this self-tapper, wasn't it? It was in there, but I don't know that it was really grabbing anything. Okay, well, let's struggle back to this. That one they self-tappered into a different place, so it will go. It's just a matter of... Yeah, see, that one's doing nothing. But this one over on the other side, that they inappropriately self-tappered, it should catch and go. Maybe. Arthritis is setting in though, so that's going to be a struggle bus to get this finished. The struggle is real, friends. The struggle is real. This is not going. Oh, how can I do this? Come on. Wow, I guess I gotta go to the other side. Here I thought I'd inappropriately... Oh, they didn't even... Okay, that will never ever grab. So what they did was stupid. Imagine that. Okay, we're going to have to go get some, we're not going to do it today, but next time we're in town thinking about it, we're going to try to get us some appropriate clips for the bottom two holes and some appropriate screws, because right now we ain't got us nothing. It's just going to be imagination that holds it in. Which is fine, I guess, but Sure. Yeah. Okay, so if you don't get what's happened here, the clips on the bottom 2 holes are gone. And so what they did, I guess, to compensate, they tried putting a self-tapper in that side over there, but it doesn't even come close to catching the diameter of the part where the clip is, so that didn't work. And then this side, they thought they'd put a self-tapper up higher, but they didn't actually hit any metal. They're right next to the edge of the metal. So the threads are only catching by hooking on the edge of the stuff, but that's neither here nor there. It's got the top 2 in it. That's enough to hold it. You know, this will hold it till we can get to town sometime, because this isn't a priority where I'm going to drop what I'm doing and run to town to get some clips. But take a look at the fancy dash now, friends. We've got something in every hole, which is just how she likes it. So we've got nothing out of place, except for the fact, if you want to say, the thermo starter button and the power outlet are flip-flopped according to the operator's book, but everything else should be good. You know, we got our, that's hazard flashers, I believe, from the way it acts. And then, you know, you've got your key start. Now we got a power outlet, thermo starter switch, cigarette lighter, turn signal, directioner, thingamabob. Then we got our light switch / horn switch and our fuel shut off. And that's all in there. And we've got that right with our, you know, brand new throttle cable and everything. We can try today and see if we can get it started. I kind of ran the battery low the other day, but it's, well, I'm struggling already. I mean, come on. All right. What I was going to say is it's like 40 degrees warmer today than it was the other day when we tried it. So there's a very good chance that maybe it would start today without any assistance, like a jump pack, even if the battery's a little low. And then maybe it could sit here and run and charge a little bit. Let's see what happens. Gotta clutch it now. Oh no. Oh no. Bad things just happened, friends. Did you see the magic smoke? It did not like something that just took place. I guess we're taking the dash loose again. Dang it. I don't think it's still burning, is it? No. It was only a magic. Well, that's unfortunate, friends. We didn't do anything inappropriate. We did it just like it says in the book. I wonder if something rubbed something else. You know, because when we put the dash back in, stuff probably got kinked around. Oh, that would suck if it's... Okay, you're still going to play hang on, even though you're not even close to... Oh, this is... When you want it to come apart, it won't. Okay, what just happened? Magic smoke. Where are you? Dare we do it again? Okay, let's... No magic smoke there. Huh. Oh, there it is, whatever it is. Okay, so what I think is happening here, but I'm not exactly sure. I think that some of those wires that were together with the other wire, when it melted, I think that they are still, there's a bare spot somewhere, and it's hitting, when I crumple the wires in here, like in the dash, it's arcing out or rubbing. So that's going to take a little bit of, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. Maybe wrap some tape around everything back there. I also think I'm going to try to wrap some tape around here and see if I can keep, well, I'm going to work as difficult as possible. That's what's going to happen, but I thought I'd see if I could possibly fool these wires into staying in their appropriate hole, because they seem to keep wanting to, come out of there. Come on, baby. I'm not saying that's really going to do anything, but in theory it might help some of those from vibrating out. So this is actually going to be more difficult than it looks, because I can't really get into where we need to be. There's really not enough room to pull anything out of there. So how do we want to proceed? My first thought was maybe I want to just stuff an inner tube in there and try to wrap it around the whole bundle of wires and just not worry about it, but that'll look like crap, but nobody's going to see in there until the fire melts the tractor down and melts all this away around it. Then you'll see that, but I don't know. How are we going to do this? I feel like I know what bundle it is. It's that bundle that went to the light switch where I left some remnants of the old wire in because it's all wrapped up. But obviously it's not wrapped up everywhere anymore. But I'm just not sure how I'm going to get in there to make that happen, where it's not going to cause me any issues. That's very bizarre. A problem I didn't foresee. I mean, I could try to, of course I left the tape over there. I could try to wrap this bundle here. There's a wire back there that's, I bet that's the one that's doing it. But again, how do I get to it to take care of it? So let's see if you can see. Probably can't, and I didn't bring a light. But do you see that end of wire that's going nowhere up there? It's like white and black striped up top, sticking up in the air. I think that's what's arcing out, and the reason why is, see, it goes over here. I cut it off there. It's in that wad of wires, but I think it's melted, and I bet it's melted to one that's hot, and so it's arcing out. So I'm going to try to tape up the end of that and tape up the end of this and see if that makes our problem go away, because that's the only thing I could think that would be making that do that thing. But yeah, this is just gonna have to be a tear off a piece of tape and hope for the best type situation here. Are we better now? Did we satisfy the mechanic gods? Nope, we did not. Okay, now that right there tells me that it's putting hot into this panel, because when I touched it to the ground, then it wanted to weld itself. So there's a wire that's touching this panel. Something is not right. What could it be? What could it be? Would it be a fuse box wire that's touching something else? Could it be the switch that... Okay, so it's still doing it, so something's wrong. Okay. Is that a coincidence and not related to... Nope. Okay. We got us an issue here in River City, friends. So my first thought is going to be, let's pull the wires off the thermostarter switch and see if that is the culprit. Nope, that's not it. It still does it. So that's not the culprit there. Now, could it be that the power outlet is bad somehow? But it's all plastic, so there should be no way that it would put in there. Oh, what a puzzle we weave, friends. Or am I looking... Well, no, I'm not looking at it the wrong way. I was going to say maybe the wire's touching the dash and it's arcing up, but that doesn't make sense. It has to be that hot is getting into this panel because this is grounded. Because if it was the other way, then it would just be burning all the time. And it only burns when I touch the two together. And we know it's not the thermostarter switch because I unplugged that and it didn't do it. So we can unplug this power port. Let's pull that loose and see if it still does it. Yep, still does it. So that wasn't it. So it's something else. Okay, let's try that. Nope, still doing it. Okay. Now we get the added fun bonus that we pulled that wire. Isn't this fun? When you get to sort out somebody else's failure. And now you can't even do what you thought you were going to do today because you thought this would be a simple, quick process. And it's going to be an all-day affair. I guess the thing to do to make this more scientific would be to get my voltmeter here and start probing stuff and seeing which thing is putting the power into the deal. Of course, you remember we hooked up a lot of stuff again that was not previously was not hooked up because, yeah, see, now I just pulled it loose too. Oh man, this is gonna be a disaster. Okay, I might have found it, but now I need to get this back up there. Is it some of those? Going through the cigarette one. Okay, well, what you're going to want to do is fail at every turn. Let's see if that'll... I just don't see what is putting the power in. So maybe it's a failure of a switch or something. Let's get that voltmeter and see what we can determine here. Because it seems like no matter what I do, it's still, this panel is still getting energized, and that's not right. Well, we might be hitting on to why the last guy burned her down, you know. I gotta remember my voltmeter here. There we go. Okay, so if I hold this on the ground, let's use their ground that they're giving us, and I go to like here, got nothing. getting nowhere here. I need one that I know has power. This white one should have power. Oh, now come on. There we go. There's 12 volts. Well, now that's weird. Oh, I don't think I'm getting a good... I hate voltmeters. I should get a test light. That's idiot proof, you know. Okay, see, there's a problem. Yeah, there's 12 volts coming to this panel, and I'm wondering if it's the light switch. I'm getting 12 volts right there. That would be the problem. Well, I'm getting 12 volts right there too. Oh, I know why. Because they're in the panel, so they would be automatically, it would be getting 12 volts from touching it. So my theory here is flawed, if I wanted to find the culprit this way, because everything that the panel touches is going to have 12 volts, dummy. So that ain't gonna work. So I gotta start taking stuff out of the panel. That'll be fun if we just sit there and blow the horn all afternoon. Let's start by taking this light switch off. And the only reason I'm saying that is because that's right where the worst melting was. And maybe it got damaged in some way. And of course, then the other added bonus is that we don't have the tools. I found the red pliers a while ago, but I didn't bring them along. I should have brought them. I'm about over this though, friends. To be honest with you. The floor, I guess, is so rusty that that's why the panel isn't just sitting here arcing out the whole time. Like that lace. Now, let's see if hit anything. Panel's 12 volts. Light switch, nothing. Panel 12 volts. Light switch, nothing. Put the light switch back in the hole. And then all it's going to do is it's going to show 12 volts because it's touching the hole. So it's not the light switch. So I guess the logical thing to do would have been to try the thing we just did, which was the key switch. But I'm also not convinced that like, I didn't have this problem, to my knowledge. Well, come on now. Okay, so we are going to unnecessarily struggle just because I tried to do a nice thing. We're about to walk away from this project today, friends, because I'm not into it. I thought this was going to be simple. I could crank you out a little video to fill the time. I didn't know I was going to be rebuilding this tractor a second time. Well, okay, it's not going to go our way. Let's go to the other side. Let's take the key switch out and see. I really want to get this light switch done though. I don't want to have it half apart and half together. Of course, this tool is not going to work. It took it out, but it won't put it back in. Because that's how life works, friends. See, now it's loose. Oh my gosh, I'm getting frustrated. Okay, I need to calm down because I'm about to take an axe to this thing. Okay, let's get this over here so I can see it. Sucks that you can't see it, but I'm a lazy cameraman. I'm not very good at that, you know? Let's take this out. Oh, there my part of my stuff pulled off already. I like how the freaking stuff doesn't thread back together for anything. Well, let's put this back like it was so we can accurately test what the trouble is. Okay. Turn the key forward, one click. We can't do. The light's on. Negative 24. Is this panel still hot? Yes, it is. And the key switch is not touching it. So it's not that. So the next thing is, let's take these back off of there again. Make sure that wasn't a fluke. Is this panel still hot? Yes, it is. Okay, two more things that it's not. Luckily, so far, it's nothing that we've done. That makes us feel kind of better, doesn't it? A little? Not really so much, because it's still miserable that we got to do this. Okay, so far we know what it's not. My next culprit would be the power port, or not power port, the cigarette lighter, you know? But can I get that pulled apart somewhere? Okay. Let's take that loose and see if we still get power. See, it only does it when the key's on. Yeah, see, that didn't fix it yet. So it's not that. I'm running out of things, friends. Okay, what's next? Well, we should plug this back in. Heavy, if we can find the thing we just unplugged from it. Okay, friends, I want you to understand what's happening here. We are essentially one step forward, 14 steps back. And the reason is, something in here is putting 12 volts through and making this panel hot, so that when I try to screw it to the dash, it wants to arc out. I have taken loose almost everything on it, with the exception of the fuel stop cable, the fuse box, and that hazard light switch, and nothing I've taken loose has made it stop doing what it's doing. So I guess I need to take the remaining things loose and see if there's something that's arcing out somewhere. I don't know where that would be. My thinking would be maybe like the fuse box has a problem, but I don't see any evidence of that. Like there's nothing is touching, nothing is rubbing. The fuse box is made of plastic. I guess the only way that it could be is maybe, let's take the cover off of it. Surely something's not, you see those through bolts that are bolting it up? Surely something's not connecting from there, is it? Like a screw, a stray wire. I just don't see anything. It's not even touching around the edges. I mean, it's possible that maybe internally it's melted somehow and like it's touching, but there's nothing in there. The center should be 100% all plastic. There should be nothing in the center that would conduct, because that's how this works. You know, your fuse is the thing that's connecting the 2 points. So I'm less apt to believe that that's what it is. And I'm really struggling with how could it be the other two things, because they don't have any, they're all plastic is what I'm saying. So how come when I turn this on, it sparks? And I've disconnected everything that I've put in and tried it individually, and nothing has done it. Okay, I thought of one more thing that maybe I'm overlooking. Maybe it's not the panel. Well, but see, the panel shows 12 volts. But I was going to say maybe the tractor's getting the 12 volts and the panel's grounding out, but it would be sparking right now because it's sitting on there. So, I don't know. I'm definitely open for some suggestions on this one. Like if I hold this up in the air, does it get anything? Or did I accidentally fix it somehow right now? Because now I'm not getting nothing. Oh, key. Got the key on. See there, I'm getting 12 volts. What if I lift this up? Yeah, this panel is getting 12 volts. It's not the tractor, it's definitely the panel. So I guess say your suggestions now, because I've checked almost everything on here. I guess it's going to be the thing that I didn't check, you know. We can take the, let's see what's on here. There's 3 things on here. Let's pull these 3 off. That'd be easier than pulling the switch out. This shouldn't do anything though, because this shouldn't get any power until the headlights are turned on, which they're not. We're still getting, come on, yeah, we're still getting 12 volts there, as I figured we would be, because like I said, that is basically just a direction switch. It's not actually anything other than just changing directions. So there shouldn't be anything there. So the only thing left would be the hazard flasher switch, which is on the other side, but that thing is mostly plastic. So I'm not getting it, friends. We were doing so good, you know, so good. I mean, it's possible that this has like a metal piece in it or something that's arcing out against there, but I just don't think so. Let's see if we can pull this loose a little. Got a metal washer in there, so it could conduct. Yeah, see, this is all plastic. There's just no way that this is the culprit. It's just not. Plastic doesn't conduct electricity. Imagine that. But we'll, for kicks, we'll test it in case maybe there's some type of internal struggle, but there's not. I get nothing there, but if I touch the panel, I get 12 volts. So, what to do, friends? What to do? Individually, Nothing seems to be causing this issue. I'm at a loss, friends. I'm at a loss. I don't understand why we're having this problem, because I can hold this panel up in the air and I'm getting 12 volts to it, and I shouldn't be. No way. And I test each component individually and I don't get any voltage. So why is it leaking? Why is it leaking voltage into this panel? I am at a loss for words here. I thought that we did something super nice, and now we've taken like 25 steps backwards. So I'm very puzzled. I don't know what it could be. I've not had this problem before that I couldn't solve it by figuring out one at a time what was the culprit. But I mean, I've checked every component individually, pulling it out of the panel, and nothing has voltage on it. So it's a bizarre occurrence here. The only thing I haven't physically removed, is the fuse box. And maybe I need to do that, because maybe the fuse box is garbage. I mean, this tractor had a major wiring meltdown, so it's entirely possible. And those things were all hooked up wrong. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But you would think that there would be more stuff, like it should be arcing out all the time, or just sitting on the floor of the tractor. It's not arcing out. It only arcs out when I try to connect it up. So, like, put this piece back in. So I am puzzled this time, friends. I mean, it's got 12 volts all the time to this panel, and that's just not right. So figure that one out. I mean, you can see, there it is. It's trying to weld itself together. That ain't gonna fly. I just don't get it. Well, anyway, I'm definitely over it for today. So we're gonna walk away from this, because I'm ready to start hitting it with a big hammer. So I'm sorry we didn't have success. I thought we would. It looked like we had high hopes there for a while. We accomplished something. We filled up the dash, but then we took a giant leap backwards. So, oh well. I guess we'll be having more Fiat wiring videos after all. The only problem is I don't really know where we're going from here, because I guess where we're going is we'll take the fuse box out, and then we'll see if the problem goes away. And if it does, then we either need a new fuse box, or we need to take that one totally out of the tractor, hold it in our hand, look at it, make sure that there's not something that's arcing through or melted through in there somewhere. But there just shouldn't be. It's just not made that way. There should not be any problem with that. But it looks like there might be. So I don't know, but we're gonna leave this one here. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.